Leute und herzlich willkommen zu einem neuen Video von mir. Das sage ich jetzt schon zum 25. Mal, weil dauernd etwas schief gegangen ist. Aber egal. Kleine Anmerkung zuvor, ich habe vor, in nächster Zeit mal wieder ein Q&A zu machen. Also wenn ihr irgendwelche Fragen an mich habt, dann schreibt die mir gerne unten in die Kommentare. Wenn nicht, dann denkt euch welche aus und schreibt sie mir in die Kommentare. Und wenn ihr das nicht möchtet, dann könnt ihr mir gerne auf Instagram direkt schreiben und mir dort eure Frage genauer erklären oder sie einfach dort stellen. Also, ihr habt mir besonders in letzter Zeit oft die Frage gestellt, wie es denn mit meinem Englisch aussieht und dass ihr gerne mal ein Video auf Englisch haben würdet. Deshalb habe ich mir gedacht, ich erkläre euch jetzt einfach mal auf Englisch, wie es mir mit Englisch so geht. I'd say I was never bad in English, not in Italy and not here. But the thing is that I always had some kind of problems, especially with the understanding of the language. Like if someone who talks in English, or especially who was Irish now, came to me and started talking to me, I had to ask always like 2 or 3 times sorry or pardon, and because I just didn't understand what the person said to me. And that was the moment when I just realized maybe it's really the Irish accent, because some people, especially under my last video I think, commented that it's hard to understand the Irish accent. And I never thought really about that. I was just, maybe it's just me because I always had these kind of problems. But then I realized maybe it's really the accent that makes it harder to understand it. But for me it was just the first 2 or 3 weeks, especially here in Ireland, when understanding the language was kind of hard. Of course now after 4 months it's not a problem for me to understand things anymore. It's just sometimes that you meet people who just stumble some words or just swallow their words kind of, you know. And that's the moment where I don't understand it. But that's in every language. I mean, even if I talk in German and I talk very quiet and not clear, then people of course don't understand me. But I sometimes still have to think of certain words, because it's just that I never really started to think in English. Like, I still think in German or in my dialect, but that's probably because our group is just built up of German-speaking Italians and Italian-speaking Italians. So I either think in my dialect or I think in Italian. So I never really started to think in English, which doesn't bother me in any way. This could, especially for Italians who come here, be a positive aspect, because I never had Italian friends before, like Italian speaking friends. I was just always with the German speaking ones. So I came here and I found new friends, and now when we're in a bar at the evening we just talk Italian for hours. And that's like the cool thing about this, especially for South Tyroleans. If you come here and your Italian isn't the best, then you don't just learn English, which you obviously do, but you also learn Italian really well. I have to say I had more problems with Italian before I came here than with English, and I'm still not perfect in Italian, but it's gone so much better than it was before. Especially in English, during the mocks, which we had 2 weeks ago, I was a bit scared because we weren't allowed to use dictionaries. So I was, okay, what do I do if I forget a word, or if I don't know what this or that thing is called? But if it happens as an exchange student, you just know other words, you have the same meaning. So you've never got a problem to tell people what you really mean. The sad point kind of is that I didn't do a video before I started with my English. Like I think I somewhere have got one before I started YouTube, I just used to do videos like I would do YouTube, and I think I did one in English one time, but I'm quite sure that I deleted it. So anyways, it's kind of sad that I didn't do one to see how my English is gonna change, because it obviously has changed. But I thought, oh, it's not gonna change that much because I'm quite good at English, so it won't change. But now as I'm here and as I'm talking so much, especially to myself right now, I realized my English has gone better. About the Irish accent, I don't really think that I use many words with the Irish accent. But it's never that I start to say I think and I thought or things like this, because I always keep in mind to try to speak more in a British way than in the hard Irish one. But that depends on where you are. So you shouldn't be scared to come to Ireland, because first you're gonna understand everything within 2 weeks. You just have to get used to it, but you have to get used to the language as well if you go to England. It's not about the accent, it's in general. You start to live somewhere where you've got a different language surrounding you. So it's clear that it takes time to understand the things and to get used to it. So really don't be scared to come to Ireland or think that you're gonna learn a prettier English in England or America or I don't know where. These are just the main points about my English, and maybe I do another English video sometime and you can hear the difference between this video and the other one, because obviously my English is gonna change even more because I'm here now for more months. Ich habe sogar vergessen, ein Outro zu drehen. Egal. Ich hoffe, euch hat das Video gefallen und ich konnte euch irgendwie zeigen, wie mein Englisch jetzt so aussieht. Vielleicht werde ich später auch mal wieder ein Englisch-Video machen, keine Ahnung. Und ihr könnt dann irgendeinen Vergleich machen für euch. Aber so ist mein Englisch halt momentan. Vergesst nicht, mir Fragen zu stellen für nächste Woche. Und dann wünsche ich euch noch einen schönen Tag oder eine gute Nacht oder einen was weiß ich was. Und wir sehen uns nächste Woche. Tschüss!